Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a very great and wonderful day. Well, it seems that I have actual pretty damning evidence and information on the whole Ukraine and Russia debacle and how we should really defend Ukraine. And Ukraine is, not is the one being attacked. Whereas I think Russia had some type of negotiations with NATO, and NATO's pretty much said, no, we're not agreeing to your demands, and therefore is leading to this some kind of war, potentially third world war, because NATO is a bunch of warmonger fools. So we have here is this thing right here. We have the Ukrainian domestic brawl that is not our fight, and then we're gonna go down here to the actual important stuff. We see here that we see this, Russia remembers history. Between 20 and 26 million Russians died in World War II. The parents and grandparents of Russia's current political class paid that price. Almost every family in Russia lost a loved one because, in their worldview, they failed to stop a growing military threat on their western border. Look at the situation from Russia's perspective. The United States promised not to expand NATO. U.S. Secretary of State James Baker's famous not one inch eastward assurance about NATO expansion in his meeting with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev on February 9, 1990, was part of a cascade of assurances about Soviet security given by Western leaders to Gorbachev and other Soviet officials throughout the process of German unification in 1990 and into 1991, my apologies. According to declassified U.S., Soviet, German, British, and French documents posted today by the National Security Archive at George Washington University. It goes on. We lied. Instead of maintaining the status quo, we have expanded NATO towards Russia's border. Make no mistake, Russia considers the expansion of NATO as a direct military threat. As I pointed out in a previous article, the United States has been conducting regular military exercises in countries bordering Russia for more than 20 years. If you think these exercises are of no concern to Russia, you are worse than a damn fool. Now, we are arming the Ukraine with weapons that will be used against Ukrainians with strong ties to Russia. This is madness that carries a genuine risk of sparking a nuclear conflagration. Russia will not be bullied and will not cower. If you indulge in such delusion, then you know nothing of the price Russia paid to defeat Nazi Germany. The idiots that infest Biden's national security team appear to not understand the central point. If we continue on this path of provoking Russia, our nation is likely to wind up like those two brave cops in New York, dead and bloodied. Now, this is pretty crazy. Now, this was released in 2022. However, I'm gonna show you a clip here of essentially NATO, I guess you could say, over the years, further encroaching their power and their unity within the eastern countries where they agreed to not do this. Take a look. Okay, so as you can see there, over the time that they have pretty much encroached a lot of the Eastern European stuff, and what we see here is that this here is what it used to be and what have you, and they just pushed on forward. So now I'm going to show you a bit of a clip of one of the people talking about this, you could say NATO did, what he's talking about this, and why Russia is possibly doing all this in the first place.
Declared in the autumn of 2021, and he actually sent a draft treaty that he wanted NATO to sign to promise no more NATO enlargement. That was what he sent us. And that was a precondition for not invade Ukraine. Of course, we didn't sign that. The opposite happened. He wanted us to sign a promise never to enlarge NATO. He wanted us to remove our military infrastructure in all allies that have joined NATO since 1997, meaning half of NATO, all the Central and Eastern Europe. We should remove NATO from that part of our alliance, introducing some kind of E and B or second-class membership. We rejected that. So he went to war to prevent more NATO close to his borders. He has got the exact opposite. He has got more NATO presence in the eastern part of the alliance, and he has also seen that Finland has already joined the alliance, and Sweden will soon be a full member. This is good for the Nordic countries, it's good for Finland and Sweden, and it's also good for NATO, and it demonstrates that when President Putin invaded a European country to prevent more NATO, he's getting...
So as you can see here, that NATO comes out and says it themselves on their actual reasoning, and they're the full-on ones that are actually trying to pretty much edging on this war, and it almost feels like this was a full plan in motion until they could actually get the war started. And don't get me wrong, I think that these people are terrible and Russia should not be invading on this, but from Russia's perspective, it makes a lot of sense. And if we really want to get down to this, BlackRock enjoys this. BlackRock wants this, and a lot of things BlackRock is trying to edging this on as well. I mean, let's not forget this clip.
Thoughts on the Ukraine-Russia war?
Ukraine is good for business. You know, right? We don't want the conflict to end.
Why?
We don't want the conflict to end as a country. The longer this goes on, the weaker Russia is. I'll give an example. Russia blows up Ukraine's grain silos. Price of wheat's gonna go mad up. So what are you gonna do if you're a trading firm? The moment that news hits, within a millisecond, you're gonna pump trades into whoever the wheat suppliers are, into their stocks. Within an hour or two, that stock goes up, and then you sell, and you just made, I don't know, however many mil.
So as you can see, BlackRock would have a hand in this too as well. They want this to keep on going on. They want this war to continue, have thousands or possibly millions of people continue to die for a pointless and horrible war that NATO created themselves. It's not even probably, they did. And now Russia's angry about it because, you know, when you kind of break negotiations or you break the contract or you break a peace treaty, it kind of makes the other country or the other side that was upholding to that negotiation, upholding to that peace treaty, or what have you that you agreed upon, that you promised on, well, a bit angry. So I understand. I'm not saying Russia should go out and do war, but what I do understand is that the promise and treaty was broken. Our reputation for upholding that peace treaty, upholding our treaties, are now in danger because we have warmongers wanting to do this stuff. So again, I don't see to where this is even a good thing. Hi, Nikki Haley. How you doing? Hey, sweetheart. I understand that you also were the one that want to continue going on to continue to do this war against Russia. Either you are horribly ignorant, my dear lady, on what's going on and why NATO is doing this, or you're a warmonger yourself and you want to continue to keep on doing this and get people filling your pockets with millions of dollars or thousands with millions of dollars with lies being part of your price. Alright, so you lady, go F yourself, and please do not become president. You won't ever become president, by the way, because you're a terrible human being. But I understand what you warmongers are. I think we all do. And I think it's time that we take a stand to probably just, maybe remove NATO, call out these warmongers, these evil people that don't care about anybody's lives except their own greed and money. So yeah. Let's just call this what it is, all right? We are here because this is the reason why they want this. They installed Biden, they got who they wanted, and now we're in this mess. Well, that's it for the story now, guys. Hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.